This is my requirement section 2, and this is for the processes part of my requirements. This is for requirement 2.1.1.1.1. This is a normal test and is going to be about having a look at the removal of candy and seeing how candy is replaced and fallen. So the expected results are the candy above should drop clearly into place and should be visually seen in the new spot where they should be falling into. So I'm going to swap this candy here with this candy here. This means that these two blue candies here should fall down into these spaces here. This is going to be a normal test. As you can very clearly see, these two blue candy have fallen into space and the candy above is being randomly selected. This means that requirement 2.1.1.1.1 is successful. Next on my requirements is requirement 2.1.1.1.2, and this is when combining three candies, you click the first candy that you want to swap and then click on the next candy and they should combine. This means that, for example, this blue candy is going to be the first one that I click, and this red candy is going to be the second candy that I click. This means that when I click this red candy here, they should swap and that these three here should combine. This is a normal test. That is successful as the blue candy has been destroyed. Next, I'm going to do an abnormal test where instead of clicking on another candy, I'm going to click on the same candy. This should deselect the candy and mean that it doesn't, for example, break itself or count that as a match. This is an abnormal test. So I'm going to use this orange candy here, I'm going to click it once, and I'm going to click it again. And if I click any random candy just to prove that it's deselected and not stayed selected, I can click this green candy here and it should not swap. That clearly shows that it's not selected still. And if I click this green candy again, and click another random candy, they've not swapped as well, so that means that requirement 2.1.1.2 is successful in both normal and abnormal testing. My next requirement is requirement 2.1.1.3, and this is about the candy clears from the spot where it was first selected and swapped to. This means that with the candy, where I swap it to first is where it should clear from the three in a row. So for example, if I choose to go from here, this blue candy, up to this blue candy, it should clear from here that way. So this is a normal test, and that is successful because that candy there fell down from there. This means that this is another successful test and that requirement 2.1.1.1.3 is successful. Next is the requirement 2.1.2.1. Unfortunately, this has failed as I did not manage to complete this requirement during my coding. This is the reshuffle sequence. Unfortunately, I also did not manage to complete 2.1.32 to 2.1.3